Alright, so, today we're going to be ranking the countries in the world by my opinion. The first one we have here, this country, and it's probably better than most. I mean, no, it's probably worse than most countries in the world, and it probably deserves to go here. Then we have this one in Europe, Albania, and this is a very interesting country because they have bunkers in their capital and all throughout. It's small, but it's right next to Italy, and I think it belongs here. I think that's fair because it's not that most developed. And Algeria, they're pretty bad. Not that bad, but I'd say they go here. They're the biggest country in all of the Africa. So that's one part of it. Andorra. Andorra is so tiny, but they are okay. I think it goes D. And Angola. They're a country in Africa. They're pretty cool, I'd say. They go with Andorra. Armenia. This is another European country, unlike the one we just did. And they're not that great because they like Russia. And that's not good or great. And their neighbor Azerbaijan puts them into a less peaceful part. Not a B, but I think a D. They're not that great, but they're not that bad. And then we have Argentina, and they're pretty developed. Probably the most developed in all of the South America besides Brazil. They're in a good position. They're a pretty good country. So it goes into the B tier. Or the B grade. And now Australia. People give this nation too much credit, I think. And it is developed, but people say it's the entire continent. It's really the Oceania, so for that reason of being overrated like that, I'm gonna put it up into C with Albania. Now we have Austria, and they're very developed. They're also neutral, so no wonder they are peaceful and focused on just developing. They're neutral. So this goes into probably A. And now we have Azerbaijan. Now, they like other countries better than Russia. So that puts them, and they're developed, and they get money from oil, but still, I think they belong into the B tier. However, they've been a bit aggressive with Armenia. They should be at least less aggressive with them. Now we have the Bahamas. And as a Floridian, I think this gotta be high, but not that high. I mean, it's just an island. It's pretty much Florida, but a bunch of islands. So, yeah. Now we have Bahrain. Now, Bahrain should really go D, because it's pretty boring, but it still is okay, and it just exists. Now, Bangladesh. I believe it belongs with Bahrain and Andorra, all those other countries in D, because it's not that great, but it's not that bad. Belarus. No, they're not that great. They don't have much. Definitely an E. They're pretty much Russia, except they're pretending to be a country, and they're a dictatorship, so those don't work. So next we have Belgium, and I rank them high, definitely. I meant Belize. This is Belize. In that case, I thought I grabbed Belgium, but it's Belize. I put them with E tier because not much they have, but no, not really, actually. They're developed. Wait, no, they're not. This is Belize. Okay. And then Belgium, I'm gonna put them with Australia and Albania. Next, we have the Brazil. I'll put them slightly in C, but because they're not as great as Argentina, as Azerbaijan, but still, they're not that bad either. They're pretty developed, too. Next, we have Benin. And Benin just is there. They don't do much. I don't know much about them, but they're in Africa. Well, Western Africa, actually. That I bet they're higher. Maybe D. Bhutan. Now, it's pretty interesting how this is the most mountainous country in the world. And it's very pretty there. And I'm assuming that boosts their tourism and their developing, I guess. In Bolivia. Now, probably goes with D. Because what are they trying to do? Bosnia-Herzegovina next. And if the most searched thing up about their country is why do they have so many landmines, that's not always a good sign. But they are very developed because they're Europe. I'm guessing C. Botswana, they're probably a D because they're pretty cool. They're nice, I guess. Brunei, I definitely rank F. They're small, and there's just not much about it. It's probably not developed because it's next to Malaysia. And I've never really even heard of it before. Unlike most countries. Bulgaria. Probably a decent. Now we have Burkina Faso. Probably with Benin. I meant Brunei. They're not that great overall. Burkina Faso, pretty much. They're landlocked. They're desert. They're in the desert. There's probably going to be some good things come from them in the future. So, I'm going to put them up because of that. Burundi. Now, when the thing you're most known for about is being poor, then I guess that is not a good thing. So, now we have Cambodia. I guess a decent E because not much is with them, but they are just existing and they're peaceful. Now we have Cameroon. Now, I've always been interested in this place, especially because it's shaped like a chicken, you know? You know what I'm talking about, a rooster. It's probably not that developed, but I'm still thinking, yeah, it's high. In Canada now. Now, this probably goes real high because of how developed they are. Probably goes with Austria. Maybe down because they're not neutral. Yeah, because being neutral would ensure peace. In the Central African Republic, we only hear bad things about this place. And that's never good. No, Chad probably goes with the Central African Republic. Because. And then Chile. They're pretty high up on the list. Probably in the C. Now China. This is the first S of the video. Because they are pretty much one of the most developed in the world. And even though they don't support Russia and what they're doing at the moment, but they still like all the countries, they try to stay a bit neutral in the whatever situation happens. I'm guessing because they want to be more stuff, I guess, get more developed and get more things. And they also have tons of history. There's tons of historical things that happens in China. And That's really interesting. They also have beautiful sites like in Tibet and other parts. Now Colombia, it does get too high for me if you know somebody who got away from there, because like if they wanted to move from there that much that they actually did it, then you know something's happening in there. But overall, it's pretty, and I'm probably putting it in D. D might be the most controversial tier here. Now we have Comoros. Interesting islands. I like it. And this puts it into C. Now we have the Congo. And Congo definitely goes D. And the other Congo. Wait. I'm gonna put next to it. Because they are just so similar. And they are pretty awesome. So D. Not that awesome. They're not the most developed, but probably D. They have bright futures, just like every other country. Costa Rica. And this goes in also D. Probably the biggest. Maybe C. I'm gonna put them in. Well, no, wait. Yeah. It's a D. They're just okay, I guess. Croatia. When you steal a coast from a country, Bosnia, you're not the greatest. So yeah. Hope you realize that. Now we have Cuba. And now I'm thinking tier, because they don't treat their people that great. If they're escaping, something's bad happening. Now we have Czechia. It says Czech Republic. But this is one of the best countries, I think. I think Canada was meant to go higher, yeah. But the Czech Republic, or Czechia, is probably one of the most developed nations. And they're not neutral still, but they're pretty nice. In Denmark, we have our second S. Why is this an S? Well, no, not an S, actually. Changed my mind. It's because... Right, so... They're an A. They invented Legos. They're pretty developed. And that's pretty much goes along with all the countries in the European Union. But... yeah. And... Djibouti. Now, they're small, and they do have beautiful sights, but there's a lot of military people there. Military people just being there, and that probably must make the locals there feel not that great. But it's definitely higher than Cuba or the Central African Republic, because I'm assuming there's less violence. In Dominica, I'm guessing D. They're just another island in the Caribbean. I guess that's too mean, but I think that because the Caribbean is just a bunch of islands when you really think about it. Dominican Republic. Okay, why did you steal from Dominica, their name? You're going down. Ecuador. Now, Ecuador, pretty crazy place, but I like it. Probably goes in C. They have beautiful places. A lot of history with the Inca. So that's just good. Now we have Egypt. And they have tons of history. It'd be so interesting for somebody to just go there and uncover it all. And they're also the richest nation and most developed in Africa. Well, not the most developed, but they're the richest. And they're the most powerful in Africa. Well, they're probably not the richest or the most free, but they probably are the most in the Middle East. And I love the Middle East. El Salvador ranks low because of a high crime rate and stricter prison punishments in prison. And that's not the greatest. Equatorial Guinea. Not even at. And Eritrea, go to E because they're interesting. But Equatorial Guinea, I think, goes into a D. Except, well, no, actually, an F. Who on earth would put their capital city on an island far away from the mainland of the nation? I guess they just didn't trust Gabon enough. Estonia. Awesome. They go high. C. They have beautiful things, history, and it's cheaper there. Ethiopia. Probably a D. Ethiopia's just good. The Faroe Islands. Not a country, but still interesting, so. I mean, they're just cold islands. D. Fiji. Why? I mean, they do have natural sights, and that's a big factor. But I don't understand why people love it. Now we have France, our second S. Now, France, they're just having a lot of history, hundreds of years of history, perfectly preserved there in France. All around, too, not just in Paris or Nice. They have a huge bunch of things, and they were probably one of the greatest empires of all time. Next, we have Gabon. Oh. Because what on earth do they have? However, their borders really freak me out. How different they are all around. And now we have the Gambia. And this is shaped like a river. That's so cool. And it goes through a river too. Very neat, by the way. They're very interesting. Now we have Georgia. Now, probably one of the greatest countries. They have the coolest writing ever I've seen so far. And they're up against Russia, so at the moment, actually, though. So, Georgia, a B. They're very developed, and they have tons of allies to help them. Germany, A. Now, Germany, they have tons of history similar to France, but I just don't know enough about them to put them at the same level as France. So I'm putting them in an A. They're very developed, richest in all of the Europe, and they work a lot of things. Now, Ghana, probably one of the most interesting African nations ever. Now, I really like it because it just looks, it's just been cool in existence, and they're probably one of the most prosperous African nations. Now, Guinea, probably less, but still probably very important to it. And then we have Gibraltar. This is part of Britain, but I've never been interested in it. Who would be? And it's so tiny, so small. Now we have Greece. Oh boy, we have the S tier. Now, well, no, not S. A. Why A? Because it's just having things that prevent it from going any higher. Probably. Well, no, probably B, actually. They're not on the same level as Canada or Austria. Now we have Grenada. Grenada, just another island. Same with Guadeloupe. Even if it's part of France, like, why should it be counted? Now I have Guatemala. Probably F. They didn't even come up with a good capital city name. And their border's weird. Please become part of Mexico. Overall, just a very complicated place. Now, of course, we have Guinea-Bissau. What on earth is that? You're probably Guinea 2.0. Way better than Guinea. E. That's probably what you get. An E. Guyana. What on earth is this? This country, probably the worst in all of the South America. Even though I don't know much about it. And it's probably ranked something good. Haiti. Sorry. Just when a lot of the people are not very happy at all, I can't rank you high. Now, Honduras. Probably a really good North American nation. And Hungary. Probably a D, for an average European nation. Well, no, the standard is higher in Europe, so assuming they're not. Iceland has got to be another A. Why is Iceland an A? It's because of their happiness and development. And also, it's not that crowded there. Not many people, so visiting is easier. It's probably even in almost to S. But it's A. If it weren't so cold, I'd probably put it in S. Now we have India. Now they're very close to Jamaica, it seems, and Cuba's pretty large compared to them. But still, haha, that was a trick. That was not. So India probably high, because there's so much things that India has, despite even if the citizens without, the most money have. So, they pretty much are very interesting. And I can't wait to see what happens in the future for the country of India. Oh, now we have Iran. Now, they rank high but low. It's not that peaceful there, probably. And many people move away. And they restrict Wi-Fi. They even remove it sometimes. So, Indonesia. Now, Indonesia has pretty much almost the same flag as Monaco. So, next time, be original. But, so please do a new flag, or else. In Iraq, probably higher, higher than Iran. Probably a D. I know there's beautiful things, but I just feel bad that they don't have much of a coast. Ireland. Now, this nation. Probably very developed. B. Just, it's very good. And they're very nice. Israel. Now, probably one of the highest. However, conflict has made Israel seem not that great. I'm probably putting them into B because they deserve some recognition for great things. Now, this was... we're almost half. So we'll finish up the... and start the J's. We'll finish up I and J since there's not that many for that, and this will be part 1. If we get back to 265 subscribers, I will do a part 2. Yeah, very nice. In Jamaica. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but my grandmother had a very hard experience there. She felt like she was in danger, so she probably never went there ever again. Now, Japan, they match very weirdly with the United States in weird. They're very weird there, similar to Florida. But they're very developed, similar to Florida too. And that's also a part. Now, I probably wouldn't put them in S or anything like that. Just because that's weird. Like, I don't know if they have history. So I'll find that out soon. But really, it really confuses me why people put Japan so high. I mean, it does deserve to be high, but not the highest. And last of the day, Jordan. Now, they have tons of ruins. They have Jericho. So, one of the oldest cities on Earth. B. They're very developed, too. And they like Israel, so... Alright, so that was my video. And if you watched the whole thing, thank you very much. That's very nice. To watch the entire video. Thank you so much. Now, if I get back up to 265 subscribers, I will do a part 2. And then for part 3, we get 300 subscribers. Because I've been trying to hit that goal for almost a year now. And I really want to hit it. And even if this video ends up to be 40 minutes. Really?